Good morning. Welcome to a normal weekday morning on Narrowboat Annie. We'll be designing and making, and stay tuned for an announcement at the end. Boop, 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 bobbing along. Hi, we're Stuart and Emmie, and we're child-free after infertility. So we decided to change our life plans and moved on to a narrowboat. We're sharing our adventures here, and you're welcome to join us. We've actually moved the boat. If you saw our last vlog, we've moved since then. Where were we? We were near Great Hayward by the Shugborough estate, which was really beautiful but had terrible internet. So we did a very quick move earlier this week to get better internet for work. But today is a purely creative work day for both of us. We're not going to do any DIY today. And I'm going to be working on this year's calendar. What are you working on, Stu?
In a way, this feels like a slightly less creative day for me, but I'm working on some marketing materials for SBC guitars. And then this afternoon, I'm most likely going to be working on a guitar, which is nice.
In case anyone hasn't watched the vlogs before, I do illustrations and drawings of buildings. Well, usually buildings. I'm starting to do some canal side drawings. But a lot of my work is based in Tottenham, which is where we lived before we moved onto a narrowboat. And Stu...
I make guitars. Lovely, lovely, handmade guitars.
Which can be tricky on a boat.
Yeah.
So last year's calendar was an A3 spiral bound, like this. This year I think it's going to be more A4, but I'm thinking to put more of my work into the month part. So I want to have like these sort of watery, like watercolory, splodgy backgrounds behind the boxes, maybe. So experimentation time. So that actually didn't take as long as I thought it was going to, and that felt really nice to just do something quite freeing, quick, just making marks on paper. A lot of what will be next will be photoshopping it to get it the sort of right, like, because I don't want to be blocking anything because it will be going underneath the grid for the calendar. So now I'm going to prep up the actual grid because I wanted to hand draw it maybe. Although I might use a font instead of my handwriting just for boldness for the numbers and months and things. And I'm gonna show you what it looks like outside the boat, because obviously we didn't film the cruise to get here, so we're in a new location, which you guys haven't seen yet. It's nice. It's opposite a field with, I mean, it's not the most beautiful, but it does have horses and geese. And let's look over Stu's shoulder and see his postcard designs.
Well, I'm playing around. This one's not so interesting. I'm playing around with postcard designs. I'm just doing the back, and then I'm going to do multiple different fronts.
This is a gorgeous photograph. This was taken by a friend of yours, a
professional photographer. Yeah,
it makes a big difference, doesn't it? Professional photography. How nice is that?
Sean Wakefield Visuals, if you're interested. Check them out on the social medias.
Okay, we'll put a link down below. Ooh, so nice. Okay, let's head outside. So, there's no horses this morning. But here are the geese.
Eight. Shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes.
Stu is now making lunch and I now have the computer, so we both wanted the computer. So once I was finished like with my ink splatters and preparing a grid for the calendar for the month, I wanted the computer, and I was irritatingly hovering around before I started reading my book for a bit and doing bits and bobs, washing up and all that. Lunch is more exciting than I was expecting. That's a full lunch.
Yeah. Emmie is now working on her
Photoshopping.
yeah. I'm about to do the washing up and then cook some food. I'm gonna do formerly Emmie's, double fried tofu and vegetables with sticky spicy sauce.
Ooh.
Yeah, I thought you'd like that. So it's in for its second fry, and our rice is steaming away lovely. Woo! This is nearly at the end of the fry, I'm gonna just boil the sauce up quick, and it's gonna be delicious. Well, my sauce has come out a bit more runny than sticky and sweet, but there we go.
Boop.
Good morning. How you doing? All right?
Hi. Good morning. It's the next day. We tailed off filming yesterday a little bit. Just got lost in work, got tired. Stu made an incredible dinner. It was 2 big meals yesterday. Proper lunch, proper dinner. Were you procrastinating by cooking?
No, I got loads done yesterday. Feel pretty good today. Feel pretty nice and positive. We've been talking about like our fertility journey quite a lot at the point of recording this. Normally, historically, my mood would crash quite a lot after talking or writing about my fertility, and it hasn't been. If anything, my mood's been either just stable, or if anything, it's been good after talking about it, which I guess just shows how, like, I went through like 6 years of depression after finding out about my fertility diagnosis, and I couldn't talk about it even if I saw like friends' kids and that. I'd have a lovely time because I love kids. I'd have a lovely time playing with them, and then as soon as we'd leave, my mood would just bottom. And it hasn't been like that for some time, and being able to talk about it now openly and publicly just feels good.
Yay! It's nearly 4:30. It has taken me the rest of the day. I thought this would just be a quick finishing up in the morning, but I think the calendar design is done. Boop. Right, well, for whatever reason, there's one page on the calendar that has a slight border, and no matter what I'm doing right now, I cannot get rid of this border. That's enough computer work for today. It's now 5 o'clock, and I think we need to go for a walk and get some fresh air and a bit of exercise. Back at the boat, and it's time for coziness and relaxing. I am happy with the work I got done today. Stu less so, because he had a lot of distractions going on and frustrations, but both feeling good after having a little walk. Stu is being a legend and cooking. Cozy Stu for cozy night in.
It's pretty good.
Boop.
It's a somewhat dreary Sunday morning. We are getting ready for a little cruise. We're actually going to go back to Great Haywood because we liked how bad the internet was there, and we don't like that the internet's really good here. No, that's not true. We're actually going to turn around and go back to Great Haywood because we could use being nearer facilities, and that one's closer. Plus there's a few things in Great Haywood that we might need to make use of, so we're heading back that way.
Bye guys. While it's quiet, which I think it might be partially because most people turn the other way and go on the Shropshire Union Canal, so we hear, and also it's raining. Keeping our eyes out for a winding hole, which is where you can turn a boat round like a big space.
Emmy just did her first winding. The winding hole is concealed behind these trees. It was really touch and go to see where it actually was, but she did a cracking job. How'd you feel?
Really glad I've done that for the first time now. It was more tedious than I thought it would be.
And back we go! He's really pretty though. Hello from the future!
Or hello from November. The rest of the video was filmed in September.
We just had a couple of things that we wanted to say in addition to and relating to the video. First of all, if you liked Emmy's calendar and you would like to see the finished version of it...
Yeah. They've arrived now. I finished them. They've come. I'm really happy with them. They're on 100% recycled. Lovely. Am I holding this in front of your face?
Don't worry about my face.
Yeah, so it's 12 of my favourite drawings of Tottenham. It's beautiful buildings and just place like shops, historic buildings, with the ink splodgy calendar grid. So they're available to buy on my website if you're interested, as well as some more images, and I'll put a link down below.
I just personally love the attention to detail in this calendar. I think making all of the backgrounds, like having watched the process that Emmy went through making it, like she made all the splodges in the background, she made the tiles, and I think the attention to detail in this one is really amazing.
Thank you.
And I've got a little announcement as well. I'm a speaker at this year's Childless Collective Summit, which is something I'm really proud of because it's something I've been wanting and pushing myself to speak a bit more openly about. So I'm talking about my journey from infertility to being child-free.
I'm really proud and happy that you're able to do this. And the Childless Collective Summit is an online event that we've attended for the past couple of years that we found so helpful. And it's like a 3 or 4 days of free like events and talks and presentations, people sharing their stories of infertility or not having children, whether by choice or not, and like moving forwards and things and making connections. It's just really, really great, and that's completely free to attend. You just need to register, although there are paid options to have extended access to the whole thing.
It won't be for everyone, obviously. They do cover people who are things like people who are child free by choice, but it is slightly more geared towards people who are child free by circumstance or infertility. But it is a really interesting thing to attend, and if it is something that is close to your heart and you know it is well worth
signing up.
Signing up, yeah, because I was initially incredibly resistant the first year that we signed up to it, and I ended up sitting in the background and then getting more and more engaged, and it is really useful. It's a mix of like people who are sort of therapists and trained professionals, and also just people like me who are just sharing a story and sharing what helped them in their journey. So yeah, it really helped both of us process our situation. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm so proud of you for taking part now and hopefully helping other people.
Yeah, and I just, because there's not a huge amount of male voices talking about infertility, even though it affects men as much as it affects women, I just wanted to go on and initially just share my story, and just start being one of those male voices sharing their story. So yeah, if you're interested, we'll drop a link below to the sign up, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Thank you so much for watching.
Yeah, thank you for watching.
Hope you found this interesting. And we're both doing some things, so links down below. Have a lovely week.
Yes, and see you next week.
Bye.